Hello everybody. I know that you can read, so I know that you know that today we are actually going to be doing autumn fruit reviews. Now I wasn't planning on doing this at first. I did want to do something other than fruit in the autumn for reviews, but I have something very exciting to show you. So I am in my apartment right now, and if you look at the backyard of my apartment, you can see that there is just a fucking tomato plant growing here for no particular reason whatsoever. So it's, I think you really have to, whoops, that's not good. You really have to interpret that as a sign that you have to review the fruit. So let's get started. Now this has the weird property of any of the tomatoes that actually get ripe enough to be used for normal applications are not, they go bad pretty quickly. So what we're going to be doing today instead is fried green tomatoes. So let's get started and pick some of these bad boys. Okay, we want, I found a recipe because I don't know shit, and it says like 4 medium-sized tomatoes, so we're just going to pick out whatever we can find and make the best of it. Assuming that I can hold all of these tomatoes. Hang on, I don't have enough hands. Okay. Let me just wash these real quick and we can get started. Okay, hang on. Okay, got him. Okay, so, we want something like, camera angles, hang on. Uh-oh, I didn't plan this correctly. Hang on, this sucks, but we'll deal with it. Okay, so we have some tomatoes, so we're going to cut them up. I've done a little bit of prep work, so the frying materials are ready. I've got to figure out what parts of the tomato are good and what parts of the tomato aren't, because you do not want to fry something that looks like this. These are the dangers of going out into the real world and growing fruit in your backyard that you didn't actually intend to grow. It just sort of started growing there. Slice them up a little. Discard the ends. They're pretty small and pretty crunchy, so we're going to have them be fairly thin sliced. Oops. Okay, awesome. I do very much regret that I couldn't get any of these tomatoes to be good after they turned red in order to do something interesting like tomato soup or pasta sauce or salsa. But oh well, it goes around. It's interesting that tomatoes are a little bit like lesbianism in that you, what's it called? You don't really like it as a child, but you grow into it. I mean, it's not super comparable because like you don't really like tomatoes as a child because your taste buds are wired to reject bitter things in order to keep you safe from poisons, which are usually bitter, which is not at all true of lesbianism. But, you know, we can call tomatoes an ally fruit. And that's the other thing, like, oh, the eternal gotcha of a tomato is actually a fruit, even though it's a culinarily treated like a vegetable, I mean, like, I don't particularly care. Hell, I'll review a cucumber on this show and call it a fruit. Okay, anyway, so we've got ourselves some slices, so we've got to do ourselves the standard fruit frying song and dance of flour, eggs, it's got some milk mixed in there, and bread, and then go in the deep fryer. So, let's get started. Flour, egg, crumbs, and here we go, I guess. So, this should be fun. I have done this recipe like once before in the past. Ow! Touched the hot thing, I should not have done that. And I've done this recipe like once before in the past, and it's fairly good. I mean, there's only so many ways that you can fry green tomatoes, but like, the point stands. Mostly, when I fry things, it's onions these days, and those don't make for very good fruit reviews. Onions and tofu. I could do tofu as a fruit review. That would be pretty silly. I like that. Oop. Should just eat one, because why not? We'll see what we're dealing with. Yep, that is a green tomato. Well, it's kind of like a bell pepper, which is an excellent, excellent little culinary disaster as a fruit vegetable. It's, I mean, it's definitely somewhere between a, hang on, it's not here to do this, keep getting this mixed up. It's definitely somewhere between a bell pepper and a normal tomato. Let's see. What is there to say about tomatoes? Tomatoes are good as usual. It's difficult for me to go into like the usual hysterics I go to about how much I love fruit, because like you can't just eat them raw. But like, so far as tomatoes go in like culinary applications, I would die for a tomato. Tomatoes have done so much for this community, and I don't know, I was gonna say that like, we don't respect tomatoes enough, but that's a lie. We all respect tomatoes. Here we go. So, I'm not sure if I can eat these without letting them cool down. That would be extremely funny. I'm not that stupid though. Probably. But, cool. Let's see, what are we expecting if we were to bite into this concoction that we have produced through sheer will and homosexuality that powers my body in order to do things? Well, I don't know. It's been so long I've forgotten what this is actually supposed to taste like. We can find out, I guess. Baby bites. Now that That's the taste of autumn. Mmm. I kind of want to put ketchup or something on this, but that sounds like something that someone southern would yell at me for. So it's fairly well seasoned. I put salt and pepper in the breadcrumbs cornmeal powdering mixture. Hang on, let me see if I can do these yet. Perfect. Excellent. It's soft. It's like, what is this like? Like the tomato itself, when I bit into it raw, was crunchy. This is soft. It's very satisfying and warm. The juxtaposition of the crunch and the soft with a real nice, unique thing. I mean, that's sort of common to most fried things. The fried concept of fried, the texture of fried, the experience of fried has sort of been commodified by fast food because frying is very fast and cheap and a good way to produce quick things that are filling. But doing it yourself is fantastic. This is a good fruit and a good way to consume it. And it makes me very happy that I can salvage these tomatoes that are growing in my backyard instead of having them all rot before they're actually red. Damn, they're so good. And I've got pink lemonade to go with it. So, fruit reviews are back. We will have an autumn run. Maybe winter and spring runs, I don't fucking know. So, stay tuned for more autumn fruit reviews. Thanks for watching.